Do you ever get that feeling? Do you ever get that feeling where you realize something don't seem quite right? So, being at a job and you work and you do stuff, and I realize that I don't make the best decisions, but I work hard. But you could tell you got folk that talk about you on that job. So I just ignore it sometimes. But it's to the point where, and I'm not manifesting anything, I'm not speaking on anything, but people have a way of saying stuff, and people have a way of starting things. And it always seems like they always feel like they have your best interest at heart, and they say these things. You could even have family members speak on you positively, and then they say, oh, you don't ever do this or you don't ever do that. I'm going to stop trying to make sense of bull. When I notice the moment that it gets really dumb and I can't seem to make it right, I'm not going to even try to like process it. It makes no sense to keep trying to make people accept you when they don't like you. It don't make sense to try to plan stuff with people who don't have your best interest in favor. The thing about it is, people lose patience with me, and I've been knowing that, and I've been knowing this for a long time, and I know for a fact that I can't keep I can't keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? I can't keep expecting people to understand me when they don't understand me. I'm not going to keep trying to do it. It might be offensive to some, but I tried my best. I did. I tried my best. Yes, you're in school. You know things. And sometimes it's very frustrating, and sometimes you just want to be heard. And I know for me, I am tired of trying to make friends understand me, family members understand me, even jobs understand me. It's gotten to the point where I've had to like look back and say, wow, people really don't give a damn. And I had to look at that. And I said, as much as I stay in church, as much as I've prayed, as much as I've tried to live right, I haven't made the best decisions. Me, myself, I want to be able to be happy and keep it moving. But when you realize your friends are not trying to be cool with you like that, or you try to get in a relationship with somebody and they don't really mess with you like that, because of some other stuff, and it's sad the way we do things to each other. I know for me, I have to generalize a lot of stuff because I don't want people being offended. And I don't want them saying, well, you said you did this and all this other stuff, because I know how fickle some people can be. We can get really weird in this generation, and people, period. And I don't know it all, and I don't want to look like I do, but for myself, I am tired, and I will forever be tired of constantly trying to make sense of stuff. And I notice it always happens in the springtime. So, what I'm going to say to you guys, if you always notice that whenever good stuff happens and stuff around your birthday or any other time gets really, really weird, just don't get involved. Because if it's meant for you and it's meant for you to be happy, you should not be in a constant situation where there's always some chaos going on. You can't speak your piece. I'm sorry, I'm a little exposed. I'm trying to bring it up here. I don't understand why. It happens sometimes to me, but most of the time I have to call it for what it is. It's sometimes mostly my fault for not just, you know, being honest with myself. But I know for me, I can tell when folks has been saying stuff about me, and I've probably said some stuff about them. I really don't care anymore. I don't care what the situation is. I don't care. All the former jobs that I've had, I do not care. Let me make that abundantly clear. The people I used to run with, the people that I don't run with, the people I used to be cool with, the people that don't want to be cool with me. I don't really care anymore. Say what you want to say, do what you want to do, but at the end of the day, we all go through things. It's life. Life is hard, and sometimes we don't want to be honest about stuff and being hard, but it happens. Okay, and for me, the thing that got it really weird was from high school to college was really weird for me. High school to college, it was extremely weird because I didn't know what I was going to do. I had plans, I was excited, but I didn't really have the sense to know people around me wasn't really supporting the idea that I wanted to. I spoke too much when I shouldn't have been speaking. I thought I knew everything and I didn't. I had family members that were praying for me and they were praying for me. But then I had other family members that just had judgments and stuff like that. We can justify a lot of stuff all day long, but when your true intent is what it really is and nobody wants to be honest with you, it's time to get up and go. I had to learn that. And sometimes it's hard for me to grasp it because I keep believing, oh, that's a family member. Oh, that's a best friend. They really mean well. When they don't mean well, it's time to get up and go. It's time to get up and go because they're not really going to see it the way you see it. Ain't no sense of you trying to pray and make them see it the way you want to see it. They don't care. And a lot of times people have lost faith because we blame God for all these other stuff. And I'll be honest, I used to blame him for a lot of stuff. It was me the whole entire time. And so the best thing you can do is say, God, you know what's on my heart. There's going to be times where you're not going to want to pray. There's going to be times where you're not going to want to do things. You still got to make it work for yourself though. You still have to encourage yourself, and a lot of people get on these kicks where they want to kick you down when you have stuff. They're going through the same thing you're going through. They're just not speaking about it. So I had to be real with myself and say, you know what? I'm not crazy. I just don't feel like going through the nonsense. I am a genuinely nice person and I don't mind to be a genuinely nice person, but I can't hate who I'm around. And I had to even tell former friends of mine, you're angry at me for what reason? You're upset with me for what reason? I tell you things not for you to internalize. I tell you things because I'm going through them. That's it. I'm telling you these things because stuff gets real. I don't really want anything because you want to know why? I don't have this attitude that I don't need a job. I don't have this attitude where I don't need this and I don't need that. I ain't got it like that. You know what I'm saying? And it really ticks me off when you work with people who claim to be rich. You know what I'm saying? Because I had this one person, I'll give you an example, was working on a job. And this person was like, oh, I don't need this job. I got this, I got that. I got all these things. If you don't need stuff so much, then why do you have that specific job? I am not a person who is going to lie about my situation. What it is what it is. Some stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? And people do talk. That's the reason why everybody gets weird. And not. You ever notice when you go to an area and people get extremely weird? You go to church and they can't even look at you because the whole entire time they've been talking about you. So I'm saying this for anybody that's gone through this. Do not get upset if you're around people who do not support your dreams. Do not get upset with people who do not want to pray for you in the meantime, because you can't blame spirituality on a person's true intentions. That person's intentions wasn't for you. So I'm telling myself this and anybody else that's hearing me because I had to grasp it. And sometimes we mask it. We give a person all these things and all these excuses because we think we know that person so well and we really didn't know them. And so for me, I had to realize when I'm around certain people, don't get so in your mind that you're not realizing what's going on. So, I mean, I don't really, but what I'm just going to be honest with you, it's not that I don't care. It's the fact that I don't see things the same thing other people sees, and I don't know if that irritates them or it's just the fact that I'm maybe being an inconvenience for them. My problem is I know what I want to do, and I'm not going to stop until I get to that goal, and that's that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And people get so incensed and get so angry. Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. I'll never forget there was a time that I challenged somebody because they pissed me off really bad. I had no business to challenge them, but I did one time. And I was a little bit younger, and I challenged her because she got the balls. This is what I'm going to say. She had the nerve to tell a new job that I was getting, something that I did. You got to watch out for people like that. They get so angry with you because you want to make a better impression than what you were. You don't know that that person's mindset was probably not the same mindset. But folks get so ignorant and incensed that they want to mess it up for you that bad because they don't really like you in the first place. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because guess who holds the keys? He does. I don't care what nobody says. There's going to be times where I really don't want to be bothered. There's going to be times where I don't want to read the Bible. And so what? We're human. But he stays consistent with us even when we're not consistent with ourselves. That's the great thing about the Lord. That's the reason why I get joy about it. Because even if stuff does fall apart, I always ask him. And I even asked him this morning. I said, you know what? If the situation is getting weird and it wasn't meant for me to do it, let it fall apart. Because I'd rather for a situation to fall apart than for me to go somewhere and it causes a whole bunch of confusion just because a person don't like you. I got a lot of people and a lot of women that are really mean to me. And most of the time it's because of stuff I said and I can own it. And I say some stupid stuff and they say stupid stuff back. I've had relationships where I've treated people bad and I had to own it because I was younger and I didn't pay attention to what I really had was good. And I had to come to grips with some of that stuff. I had some friends that were good and I had some friends that were just downright users. Users, like the one that I was telling you about previously. Users. But my thing about it was you can say whatever you want to say and you can be on the receiving end and do the same thing. You can be the person that takes accountability. You can be the person that doesn't take accountability. For me, I had to learn some things. And you know what? I'm okay if I don't have it all. And I'll be okay. I don't get that incensed about stuff like that because it's out of my hands and in to begin with. What can I do about it? If it wasn't meant for us, don't let it work. That's what I ask God. If it wasn't meant for us, if it was, most times this is how I think. Things are not should not be that difficult. And if it comes to the point where I'll give you an example. Say you're in school, right? And you study really hard for an exam. And you want that class so bad. And you're like, you know what? I have a C minus in this class, but I'm not doing that great. I rather not even pass the class. If it's going to be this ridiculous, where this class, not only have I had issues with racial discrimination, not only have I had issues with the fact that I can't get financial aid, not only have I had issues with the fact that I can't get what I'm reaching for, if there is a situation, and this is a former school, this is not a school that I'm at currently, if it gets to be so bad that all of these things are coming at me, okay, God, don't even let it happen because certain things should not take that long. Usually if stuff happens, you got to really call it for what it is. Somebody don't want you to be there. You can pray, study all day long, but if somebody really don't want you to be there, that's what you have to look at it for. So it's just like a family relationship. When you got family members that ask you stupid questions like why can't family members work together because of stuff, well, let's be honest, and I'll give you an example on this. I have family members that I really love and I care for. But when we get into conversations get weird because we say stuff that don't make sense at all. And I said this. I said, "Here's what I'll tell you." The question was, "Well, what? How come we can't keep stuff within the family or whatever?" This is just play on words. It wasn't exact, but play on words. I say this: the reason why it happens is because when you have family members that have told you over and over and over and over and over, and they tell you stuff in confidence, and you tell your mom, tell your sister, tell your brother. Can't nobody trust you with stuff if that's what y'all really do. And then get your feelings hurt because stuff went wrong and went left. I'm not doing that. See, the thing about it is, I can get upset and I can get very angry about something because for me, I don't want it. I don't. And if it's gonna be that hard that I can't get what I need, it's not necessary. It was not meant for me. And I'm a own that. It was never meant for me. If it's gonna be weird, if it's gonna be this ridiculous, if I keep getting confirmations and everybody keep telling me don't go, then guess what? If it gets weird, don't even let it happen. Because you know what? There shouldn't be a reason. There shouldn't be a reason. It really shouldn't be. I wanted to go on a trip one time. It was me and my best friend. I wanted to go on a trip one time. I wanted to go. I wanted to go really, really bad. But guess why I couldn't go? Everybody kept telling me. And you know what else kept telling me? After I prayed about it for myself, decided to seek God for myself. Because I just wanted to understand what is it that's so bad that I can't do this. And I said, oh, okay, I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. I want to have fun, but I don't want to have fun to the extent where it's costing me life. And I saw some really sad situations that happened where people were losing their kids because of these vacations. Now, here's the thing. It's what you decide to do on the vacation. You know what I'm saying? So if you are going to a concert and things are cool, you know what I'm saying, and something else happens, I don't know. My thing about it is, I'm grateful that I never had to experience friends doing those kind of things to me, where I had to go to the hospital because of something stupid. I'm grateful for that because when I think about it growing up, we had some really crazy stuff going on. I got myself involved in some stupid stuff. But I was grateful that I grew up the way I grew up. Every single time I think about a situation that got really bad, I am so grateful it turned out to the left. And you want to know why? Because the intentions were not right there. And you know what? It's fine. It's completely okay. If it's going to be like something that's going to cost me my health, I don't need to be there. So, like, I'll say this. Here's what happened. It's a story time. There was a situation where I went to my church. This was the church that I was born in, right? I remember as a kid being happy, having joy about stuff. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of stuff that I went through. But I knew that there was people that didn't like my mother and didn't like my father. And there was times I didn't like them either. But it took me to get a little bit older to understand what was really, really going on. See, a lot of times people, they don't want to be real with you. They really have bad intentions for your whole entire family. And when you realize you have people that have those issues, you can't say nothing about it. I mean, I had some struggles and I was going through some things. I was going through a lot. Losing a grandmother, losing family members, losing stuff. But the truth of the matter was, I had to deal with my own stuff. I had to talk to my dad about some things because I said, you know what? The absence that you don't have for me, and whenever you feel like coming around, it can't work. You know, I made it up in my mind the reason why I don't say anything. The reason why I don't. The reason why I don't say anything about my grandparents. The reason why I don't say it. The main reason why I don't say it is because I know their true intentions. I know their true intentions. You know what I'm saying? So when you know and you really know, the devil get mad at you when you really know their true intentions. The devil gets aggravated when he knows what you're doing. He gets pissed off when he knows that he can't get to you like he really wants to get to you. So what happens? You lose jobs. You end up getting sick. You end up going through all these other things. What happens? You end up finding people that are just devilish and devilish. And they just look at you like this. Like, what's wrong with you? Why does she have joy? That type of stuff. And you only understand those things when you really have it. You know what I'm saying? You can say you have a relationship with God, you know God. You really know God. But when you have the Holy Ghost, like the real Holy Ghost, like you've been baptized, you have power, like Holy Ghost power. When you have, you know, you speak in other tongues and all that other stuff. When you have the actual Holy Ghost and you know who God is and he knows who you are, you're going to go through a lot of spiritual stuff, and it's rough and it's hard, and there's going to be times where you feel like you can't do anything. It's going to be times where you feel like, you know what, it wasn't meant for me. It wasn't meant for you. And you know what, thank God when it's not meant for you, because 9 times out of 10 it saved your life, man. There are so many things that I thought about, and I said, God, I'm so grateful that you saved me from stuff. Yeah, they talk about us Christian people all the time. A lot of folks from a lot of communities knock us. Them holy rollers, them Bible thumpers, them all that other stuff. But it's those same holy rollers and Bible thumpers that have to pray you out of deliverance, that have to call on Jesus when you need something. And every day, and I sit and think about my life and the decisions that I made, and I was so grateful. Somebody got a hold of me that I didn't do something stupid. And you know something? I'm grateful for that. They can call me crazy. They can call me whatever they want to call me, but none of them have experienced my life situations. None of them had to go through what I had to go through. So call it whatever you want to call it. Call them holy rollers. Call them Bible thumpers. These Jesus preaching things. Oh, God is this and this and this. But you know what? I have soundness of mind because of those Bible thumpers and those Jesus freaks that everybody else calls about. I have peace of mind because somebody got a hold of me and told me, hey, you need to sit down and get yourself together. It was those people that everybody talks about, all these freaking communities that are so upset with the Christian community, these religious people, these this and these that. It was them that was getting us delivered from some of the stuff that we get into. See, a lot of people don't want to be honest when you go to college. They don't want to talk about the stuff that really happens on college campus. They don't want to be real about some of the stuff that really be going down. Just like in youth campuses. They don't want to be real about what really goes on when no adults are around. I'm talking about teenager to teenager, what they really do, but they'll tell their parents they don't do stuff. You want to know why I know? Because I used to be a teenager that used to pretend like, oh, it's okay, it's fine, it's no big deal. You don't get God's spirit in you constantly pretending with folk. And it took me a while to grow up and be spiritual with God and say, you know what? I got to get over myself. I got to not be so stupid to believe everything I hear. I remember there was a time I literally thought I was homosexual myself. And you know what? I had to rebuke it. And the reason why I said I had to rebuke it because people get put ideas in your head sometimes and they want you to be what they want you to be because they want acceptance so bad. And I'm not talking about the community. So let's stop the stupidness and let's be for real for ourselves. Let's be real, okay? I am not a person that is not going to sit there and say, oh, yeah, I did all these other things. No. And I'm not going to act like I don't have struggles. But those kind of struggles are different struggles. Let's just be real about it. I thought I was that way. And I said, you know what? I sought counseling, and I noticed the person that I was going to was getting a little excited about the situation. So I said, I won't say nothing. Then when I talked to somebody about it, then they were like, okay, whatever. And then they went to another person and talked to their friends about it. Literally went to their friends and talked to them about something. And I'm thinking I'm trusting a person in church. But then I had to realize people are people. It's not the people in the church that you have to worry about. It's people's intentions. It's not the people in the world. See, the thing about it is we don't ever want to be honest about our true intentions about stuff. We say stuff and then we do other things and think God don't know about it. And see, I only know what I know a little bit. I'm not saying I know everything because I don't. I have issues just like everybody else has issues. But what I realize, and I'm saying this for you, you have got to be that person that is not going to sit there and keep letting people abuse you and use you. I don't care what situation is going on in your life. If you know that you have the right to do something and you're going to get there and you're going to lose weight and you're going to get that job, you're going to get that husband and you're going to get those promotions, you got to speak that in there. And I had to learn that I had to start speaking it. Sometimes I would just doubt it because I was like, you know what? I wanted it, or I'm rushing, or I'm thinking too hard. So if stuff gets that chaotic, don't even let it fall apart. If it's not even going to get to the point, if I'm going to miss the mark, if it's going to be this bad and this stressful, let it fall apart if it's not for me. If it wasn't for me, that's when I know it wasn't for me. That's when I know it's not for me. Seriously. So I sit here and I think about it. And I think about all the times where stuff was getting really bad. Every situation. I looked on some of these videos online and I thought about the times. And I was grateful because God has really taken me through a period where I had to really understand what I was going through. There was a lot of stuff I wasn't trying to let go of. And so when I know that I wasn't trying to get to that point, I had to be real with myself. And I'm just glad that I'm able to be real with myself. And even if they think whatever they want to think, they can say whatever they want to say. People are going to say whatever they want to say about you. I have friends to this day that can't even look at me straight. Ex-friends to this day that can't even look at me straight because they feel some type of way about me. But if I told what I knew, if I said what I knew, if I said what I really wanted to say, if I really wanted to boil it down and say, oh, this is what's happening, that's what's happening, if I really wanted to get down to the nitty gritty of it, if I really wanted to, I could do that. But because I decide to, you know what, that's not a good time to say that. Or I'll seek my mom and she'll say that's not a good idea. See, people get upset with you when you don't do what they want you to do. They get angry with you and incensed with you and always want to project on you because they're angry with you. I had to realize that about my own father. He gets upset. He don't want to be honest with himself. He'll do all these other stuff. I noticed that about my grandparents. They get upset, they get entitled, and they do other things. I noticed about my other grandparents. My other grandparents, they pray. But there's a lot of stuff that they don't like, that they did not like. And they would say, you know what, Sabrina? You know better. And they would just give you that look. And you would almost get convicted because of the look that they're giving you. Because you knew you was doing something stupid. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, people also tell on themselves a lot. So, for me, I had to realize that it can be coming at you at a mile's bricks, but because I was so focused up here about something else and I wasn't looking at their true intentions and not really asking questions, I always miss it because I just didn't see it. I didn't. I didn't at all. I did not. And so for me, what I have to say is I am not going to get upset about anything. You want to know why? I'm not going to get enraged and upset about something because of what goes on. You want to know why I'm not going to get upset? Because at the end of the day, still a person, still a black person, still got stuff that I got going on. People are still going to, I don't care how many times I say, oh, I'm Native American, I'm Jamaican, all this other stuff. They're still going to look at me as a Negro. And that's what I had to realize. They're still going to look at me like a black person because people could care less what you claim yourself. What are these nationalities and all this other stuff? The world is still going to look at you like the world looks at you. Nobody wants to be honest about that. They don't care. You want to know why they don't care? Because it's not going to gain them any money. They're not going to have their little social connections, whatever. Who gives a flip? I don't have your best interests at heart. I really, all that fake bull crap. And I know for a fact, because here the thing is, I mean, a lot of my generation, we're grown. You know what I'm saying? So we're almost getting close to 30. I know how we do things. Ain't nobody stupid. Ain't nobody born yesterday. Y'all know y'all have bad intentions for each other. Let's stop the lies and stop the BS. You know why you don't like a certain person. You can make TikToks, you can make Facebook videos, you can get on YouTube, you can get on Instagram, you can get on any social media network, and you know your intentions. You know your intentions. You know your intentions for why you don't like somebody. You know your intentions. You can sit up there in an office and talk about a person all day long. You know your intentions, but you get convicted all the time, I bet. And it's got to be hard, I bet, to sit there and watch people do those things to you. It's got to be really difficult. You know your intentions. You know it. You don't want to be honest with the person, but you do know it, though. And it's really sad that you got people that just still, they always got to do this. They always got to do this. They always got to be grabbing and snatching and doing all this other stuff. They want to sound like they're so intelligent. You know what I'm saying? You ever find people that make comments like that? They so intelligent. They think they know it all. They do all this other stuff. Why are they always feeling that way when it comes down to you and your dreams? Are they feeling some type of regret? Are they struggling? Are they upset about themselves? Okay. Cool. It is what it is. Take it as they have it as a personal problem. It wasn't you, it's them. And be so verily unbothered. That's not being narcissistic. That's not being an asshole. That's being real. God forgive me for cussing, but for real, that's being real. You can say whatever you want to say. People are going to be themselves, whether you see it a mile away or not. They will still show their true intentions. Whether you can claim, you could cover it up with the name of Jesus, love, whatever you want to, but if their true intentions are what they really mean, well, they don't like you because of the way you look. They don't like you because you're intelligent. They don't like you because you are who you are. Know that, learn it, and understand it. And I had to get it. I had to realize there's going to be some women that can't stand me. There's going to be some men that think I'm too masculine because I get out there and I work. There's going to be some people that see me as conceited or something else, or I think I'm better than everybody else. And that's really not how I carry myself. I really could care less about anybody else. The only reason why I say I could care less is because all of the negative blah is stupid to keep saying. Y'all say whatever y'all want to say. Y'all cover up stuff all the time. All the time. You dig up people's records who you want to dig up when you don't want them to succeed and stuff, and you know you do it. You don't want them to say all these other things, and you know it's the truth. You know it's truth. And you know what's funny is that we really don't want to be honest with people about our true intentions. Their true intentions, they don't care. They only want you around them if you have things. They get insecure because, oh, they're dating somebody. And it's always the people that are you always notice that it's always the people that are dating outside their race that get real weird. You shouldn't care what I think as a black woman, what you do in your relationship. But do you ever notice how insecure some of them get when you say any little thing? You could be calm and cool and collected, but they get insecure. They get real insecure. Or they just look at a certain their own race like, oh my god, they're right. Like, you're that black person. Like, are you serious? That's the thing that killed me. I had to watch myself. I remember when I was dating somebody and I started acting like, and it's like, who are you to sit there and act like you're beneath anybody or anybody's beneath you, and you come from the same come up? Regardless how you spill it, regardless how you see family, regardless how you know your whole family history, and you might got it all together, and you might have a little money now, and you might know a little stuff. Who are you to sit there and look down your nose on somebody? Like, are you serious? You gotta be freaking kidding me. Like, are you serious? You think you know so much that you're gonna sit there and degrade, sorry, I said degrade, my bad, I'm tired. I said degrade another person because you think you cool? Like, okay, that's how you doing? And so when I realized I was doing that, and a few people had to tell me, that's a shame when you can't catch it yourself and somebody else had to tell you. And I only say this stuff because I went through it. I'm not saying that I know, it's just because I went through it myself. And I decided to say this because I want to help somebody else. Don't be a person that when you get upset that you start drinking. It's not a good look. Don't be upset where you constantly smoking. I got a lot of friends that smoke a lot and they stressing themselves out for no reason. What you can control, you can control. If you can't control it, let it take its course. Just let it take its course. Because sometimes you're not going to be the first. Sometimes you're not going to be the last. And sometimes you're not going to be this. Some stuff you have to be honest with yourself. And you know what? I got to do it every day. Whether I like me or not, I have to face myself every day. Whether I want to or not, whether I want to be there or not. And you know what? I'm okay with being that person that, you know what, I thought I overcame that situation and I didn't. So sorry that I didn't. So freaking sorry that I didn't. Stuff happens. Life happens. Situations happen. Mental health is real. It happens. It really does. It needs to be said, though. It needs to be said. It needs to come out. There was a lot of stuff that I thought I knew about my mom, my parents. I was saying a whole bunch of crazy stuff a couple of years ago because I wasn't getting my way. There's no need to get upset if you can't get your way about some things. There's no need to freak out just because you can't. I mean, can we be honest about stuff? People don't like smart people. People do not like you when you are able to live in your truth. They don't like you. They don't like you when you're willing to see yourself. They don't like you when they're willing to see the good stuff. They're not willing to be honest with you. They're not willing to be honest with you. And that is okay. Stuff is going to get better. And I know it's going to get better because I've seen it get better before. But guess what? Let's not self-sabotage ourselves anymore. Let's be better people. Let's be people that take the initiative. Let's try ourselves. Let's say, you know what, days when I don't feel good, I'm tired, I want to lay down. Let's be okay when something doesn't work out. Even when you don't get the opportunity, let's be honest with ourselves and the things that we've done in our past. Let's get over the past, because the past right now is irrelevant. What's okay is what's going on now and present. Let's forgive ourselves from stuff that has no precedence. Let's forgive ourselves from things that just take a while. Let's forgive ourselves for things that hurt us. Let's forgive ourselves if we don't always have the money and we struggle and we going through stuff. Let's forgive ourselves when we don't take the opportunity to self-care ourselves. Let's forgive ourselves when we don't know when to stop. Let's forgive ourselves when things get really rough. Let's forgive ourselves when we don't really have the mental capacity to keep doing stuff. Let's forgive ourselves. You know, and when people support it, they don't support it. If they support it, if your family never supports it, if your friends never support you, if you never find somebody support you and let the Lord do stuff. That's what and see, that's the thing that the people don't understand about Bible people. That's the thing that kills me about people that always want to say Bible thumpers, spiritual wakers. They're so ooh. But when the Lord really does do stuff for you, when he does make a way out of no way and give you strength, when he really makes you happy, when you don't have anything and he still gives you joy to count on him, that's when you need to know that's all the Lord right there. See, this is the reason why I'm so grateful. And I even wanted to make a video about Angela White, but I didn't have the opportunity to make it. So I'm just going to say a little bit. For everybody that's trying to get saved and realizing that they want the Lord in their life, this is a big win for you. It's a huge win. And be happy that you made it, you know. And don't take anybody's word for it just because you hear people on TikTok and Instagram and all these other, other people that are so stuck on videos and stuff, Just take it for what it is and be happy. Welcome yourself to God, It's going to be weird sometimes. It's going to get confusing. Try to find peace within it. And it's not going to be easy. There's going to be some days you're going to feel like complete crap and you want to just sit there and not say anything and probably cry and slam every door because something hurt you really bad. There's going to be times where you're going to be like, you know what, screw it. But when there's days when you don't feel like that, when there's days that you don't feel stupid, when there's days where you don't second guess yourself because of other people's opinions, be happy about that. To all the new people in Christ, there's going to be a lot of people that walk away from you, but that's okay because he'll send better people that'll be around you. Things happen, but you got to let it work. You got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with that. You get a chance to do other things. You get a chance to see people and grow and be happy. You get a chance to do it. You do. So let's try to make it work. You get a chance to be excited. You get a chance to be happy. And that's okay. And it's great. Keep doing those things. Keep letting it work. Because it's there. So be happy. Because I'm happy for you. If nobody else is happy for you, be happy for yourself. And don't just let it be about self-love all the time. Sometimes listen to God and let him help you sometimes when you don't understand stuff. Be happy for yourself. Find some joy. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. And you know what? There's going to be a lot of people that's going to bring up your past a lot just to hurt your feelings. Just be like, you know what? It was the past. It happened in the past. I can't do anything about it right now. It happened. So, I am going to get better. That's what you have to say to yourself. And this has been another episode of SMS News Channel. And I'll be back with more.